Navant's Fruit Juice, KFC, Valtech, Butler's Apartment 30 from Miller in the 19. Here we go. The field tightens up out of turn 4. 10 laps. Let's see what happens. The green comes out. We're up to speed and racing. Oh, almost near disaster on the front straightaway. Marion Reno, almost a carbon copy of 2 weeks ago, having problems coming up to speed, and it sent Bobby Henry down low. He's fallen to the back of the pack, but look at this battle up front. Up high is Lonnie Vaughn in a Chrysler product. Down low in that Camaro body machine is Barriotti. He makes the move to the inside. A drag race side by side down the front straightaway into turns 1 and 2. Here comes Glenn Gould up through the field. Rick Boyer trying to make a move on Reno in the battle for the third place position. A challenge for the lead again as they dive into turns 3 and 4. Lonnie Vaughn hanging tough on the outside. Rick Boyer moves up to third, and Audi conversely moves into the point position. Working through turns 1 and 2, Barriotti now stretching it out by a half a car length over an automobile of the new Philadelphia, Ohio pilot, Lonnie Vaughn, who seems to have a push in that car. Meanwhile, Hubbard has Glenn Gould running 5th, now challenging 4th, and in the battle for 3rd place position, very close to the outside retaining wall. The American Title and Trust, Gulf Brothers Heating 32, struggles with that battle. Rick Miller from the back of the pack up there as well. Miller in the A1 Engineering chassis machine, the Jim Dolan Chevrolet sponsored Camaro body machine, is making the attack at the low side of this speedway. Bobby Henry is also joined into this battle. Side by side, we continue in this struggle for third. Gould up high, down low is Rick Boyer, and they're fighting tooth and nail on the back bumper, the 0-3 of Lonnie Vaughn. Here comes Miller in. He joins in to watch this battle unfold in front of him. 4 cars you can throw a blanket under for the bridesmaid position out of turn 4. The cross flags by our starter, Ron Brett, signals halfway down in this event. 5 laps remaining, and Lonnie Vaughn with his hands full. Which line will break first on Vaughn? He's been really up to the task to hold off these drivers. Boyer dives down low, dirt tracks the automobile, struggles to make the move. Look at this! Rick Miller trying to make it 3 wide. Miller momentarily dived down under Boyer's automobile. That A1 Engineering chassis Camaro body machine really hooked up to the low side. He's still trying to work a third groove as those 2 automobiles have gotten by Lonnie Vaughn. Oh no! My, that happened so fast, I can't tell exactly what happened. Lonnie Vaughn's car's against the outside retaining wall. Rick Miller and Glenn Gould, an extremely unfortunate situation. Lights out, we're ready to go back to restart. Jenners, Pennsylvania's Barriotti in a point. Let's see what happens. Out of turn 4, the green comes out. We're up to speed and racing. Bobby Henry can't come back up to speed. Down into turns 1 and 2, and Audi holds a half a car length over Rick Boyer. Boyer trying to hang on to him down the back straightaway. John Sandquist running third in the Haverstick Brothers 84 begins to close in on the 30 of Rick Boyer. They go through the track time material unscathed. Bobby Henry in 5th place is well off the pace. The Hodge Transmission 77 having its share of problems out of turn 4. Meanwhile, the battle for the point position down the back straightaway. Audi holds on to it by half a car length over Boyer. Boyer tightens up right there. Sparks come out from Boyer's automobile as the chassis bottom out in the pavement. There's no problem there. Now Boyer dives to the low side. The KFC machine looks to the low side of the 75 of Barriotti. Audi denies him the opportunity down the back straight. Time is running out. Here comes John Sandquist, the Austintown, Ohio driver, looking to the low side of Boyer's automobile. The drain-powered machine continues running in 3rd place position. The white flag on. 1 lap remaining for Audi. Here comes Boyer. Boyer tries to move, cannot make it, falls back a car lane. Sandquist not able to take an opportunity on the 2nd place running machine of Boyer. Time running out, a 1/4 lap remaining. Here we come for the checker flag, and it will be Jenners, Pennsylvania's Barriotti. The battle for 2nd. Rick Boyer holds on to it over John Sandquist. A distant 4th, the Marion Reno, McKeesport, Pennsylvania driver. And well off the pace to round out the top 5 will be the 77 of Connellsville's Bobby Henry. Asphalt and the Chuck Beamo 24 from Mars, Pennsylvania, Chuck Kennedy. Field tightens up in turns 3 and 4. Starter run, but looks him over. It's up to Kessler on the point. The horsepower comes to life under the hoods of these automobiles. Green's out, unfolded, and we're up to speed and racing. Down into turns 1 and 2, it's a side-by-side battle for the point position between the 23 of White and the outside of Kessler in the bottom. Gary Gelder looking for racing room in 3rd place position. White hanging on to that outside groove, fades just a bit, and Kessler takes over the point position. Down the front straightaway continues to be Chuck Kessler, followed by Danny White. Gary Gelder running in a tight 3rd place spot. Chuck Kennedy up to 4th place position at a 24, side by side, a battle for 5th as Tom Erickson works the low side of Dave White. Charlie Cragen trying to move up through this field. Here we go on a turn 4. Danny White now chooses a low side on Kessler. They work into turns 1 and 2. Danny White begins a wrestling spot for the low side. How about this way? Race fans trading grooves out there. Danny White says it's time for me to go low on Chuck Kessler. Kessler's car, a characteristic push he seems to develop early in every race, continues to plague him in that automobile. But he hangs on to the outside position, and they continue running side by side. Gary Gellner hangs on to 3rd place position, but this battle is a drag race down the back straightaway for the lead. Fender to fender, lug nut to lug nut. We continue the struggle for the honors. Oh, look out! Kessler gets the car squarely, slows off the pace, and it causes repercussions in the back of the field. Kessler falls back, dissed a little bit sideways, and he falls off the pace down to 4th place now, 5th place position. No, he's hanging on to 4th as a 36 machine of Tom Erickson struggles to the low side of him. Gary Gellner picks up the pace in 2nd. Best battle on the track is for the 4th place position. Tom Erickson works the low side of Chuck Kessler. Here comes charging Charlie Cragen. Cragen, the Casa Fire Equipment, Twin County Chevrolet's 42, trying to make a move on Kessler's automobile. Erickson has made his way through and is up to the 4th place position. Here comes Cragen. Cragen down low, dives to the low side. It's a drag race into turns 1 and 2. Charging Charlie Cragen almost on the grass. Making the move on Kessler. He moves up to a top 5 spot. Your point position automobile is Danny White. He continues holding on to that by some 5 car lengths over Gary Gellner's 22. A distant 3rd is Chuck Kennedy as we have 7 laps down, 3 remaining. Meanwhile, Tom Erickson is closed up to the back bumper, Kennedy's automobile. Cragen likewise trying to do the same down the back straight as they head into turns 3 and 4. Belle Vernon, Pennsylvania's Tom Erickson trying to close up to the back bumper. The Chuck Bimo, 24 of Mars, Pennsylvania's Chuck Kennedy. They continue that struggle for the 3rd place position. Charlie Cragen continues watching everything unfold in front of him in a comfortable 5th place position. Top 5 automobiles will secure into a top 10 spot in the feature. The white flag out, 1 lap remaining. Into turns 1 and 2, it continues to be Danny White by some 3 car lengths over Gary Gellner. A distant 3rd place battle is a good one as Erickson continues looking for racing room around the white-red 24 machine of Chuck Kennedy. Here we come for the checkered. It'll be Danny White followed by the 22 of Gellner. The battle for 3rd. Kennedy holds on to it over the 36 of Tom Erickson and the 42 of Charlie Cragen rounding out the top 5. Well, in those 2 qualifying heats for the Gatling's late models, top 5 cars and winning by 6 inches. Whoa! Holy smokes! Did you see that? Oh, I was joking around about it. It's rather crazy though, but we do get the green for 10 laps of the Pepsi Pro Stock. Look at this. 2 Somerset pilots, young Chargers out there. Bradley Cole in the 68 and the 07 of Jeff Dunbar. Look at Kelly Shawless right in the middle of this thing. 3 cars battling. Oh no! Oh, hang on to it. Whew. Holy smokes, get Pat still trying to bring his car under control. Well, Pat spun his automobile. Dunbar too, they are drag racing down the front straightaway. The green's up. We're up to speed. Get Pat right there in the 70, but this is a personal 2-car dash in this event, and Cole gets the best of it in the back straight, pulls out by a car length over Jeff Dunbar. Don't forget, race fans, 2 weeks ago, they ran the last 10 laps of this event like that, and Dunbar came up 6 inches short at the checkered. Down into turns 1 and 2. Cole continues holding that point position with Dunbar hanging right on to his tail. Bradley Cole, the fabricator, 23-year-old pilot out of Somerset, Pennsylvania, has traffic in front of him. Albright's automobile, holy smokes, they go by him like he's sitting still. Dunbar looks to the low side, cannot make the move. The Somerset Drugs Resources Conservation Corporation, 68 of Bradley Cole, continues the hold off to VJ's Express 07 of Jeff Dunbar. Dunbar looking for racing room. Into turns 1 and 2. Bradley Cole holding 2 car lengths, now beginning to separate himself over Dunbar's automobile. On the back straight, Dunbar on lap 3, plenty of time left in this event as we're down to just a 2-car battle. On the front straightaway is Jeff Dunbar. Would like to gather up some momentum and close in on Cole's car. They continue lapping Albright, who's got to get dizzy watching the leaders coming by for a 2nd time in a row. Out of turn 4, Cole now is stretched out by 4 car lanes over Dunmar's automobile. Dunmar just a tad bit squirrely. Working into 1 and 2. Cole really has that car hooked. In fact, you know what? I'm going to get a time on these guys, see just how fast they're going. Impressive run by both these automobiles. We'll get the clock on the 68 of Bradley Cole. See just how fast he's going out there. Remember, I mentioned that in the Gatling's late model division, our top automobiles, about a 17.4 will do it, to being one of the faster cars. These cars are anywhere from 3/4 of a second to a second slower. Oh boy, I don't know if we'll get a good time here. 1881, but we had Albright right there in front of Cole's automobile. We'll try it again. Pepsi Pro Stock's the same as our Gatling's late models, only under the hood they're using a stock engine. So they're about 300 horsepower, 350 horsepower, so about 200 less than what we have in the late models, but it only means about a second slower in the times. Speaking of time, time is running on for Jeff Dunmar as he tries to close in on Bradley Cole. Cole out there 18 seconds flat on the last lap. That would put him in with about the top 8 in the Gatling's late models this evening. That car's hooked. Oh, Dunmar ever so slightly get the back end loose on that car, but he continues to hold on to it. The white flag, 1 lap remaining. Here we go into turns 1 and 2. Jeff Dunmar trying to make the move on Bradley Cole. Down the back straightaway. They lap Albright's machine for a 3rd time. That's got to be a record. We have a spin in turn 2, and the yellow comes out. Ted Corbett spins his automobile in turn 2, and we may have a dash. Dunmar's going to steal it away. Here we go. Cole gets on it. Dunmar's right there on the back bumper. The green comes out, and we're racing. Down the front straightaway, diving into turns 1 and 2. Cole working that low line, and he brings Dunmar right with him. They exit out of turn 2 down the long back straightaway. Both up to the outside retaining wall. Dunmar on the high line. Now he tucks down low. A dive bombing move to the low side of Cole. Cole hugging that groove. The white flag. 1 lap remaining. Into 1 and 2. Bradley Cole works that low line down under the yellow line. Jeff Dunmar hugging his back bumper. They come up on Albright's machine to put another lap on him. As we pass Albright's automobile, less than a half a lap remaining. Here comes Dunmar. He looks to the low side on Cole. Oh, he gets the car crossed up. Does a beautiful job of hanging on to it, but Cole will pick up the checker. So Bradley Cole picks up the checker after Dunmar, with a daring low side attempt, sees the back end of the VJ's Express car lose grip. And Dunmar wisely backing off and doing a superb job of gathering it back. He's in first time ever racing on the pavement in a Transcare 33. The console. It's Ron Delano Jr. out of Stoystown, an Epper Performance 62. Here we go. The green comes out. We're up to speed and racing. Look at this. 3 wide on the front straight. Bob Dyer move, and he pulls off the point position. Rapid Robert Arsenberger. And Arsenberger trucking 26 tries the low side of Greg Vasco. Vasco won't have anything of it. Out of turn 4, Vasco holds the middle group, and here comes Arsenberger. He dives the low side. Jamie Bergman and a Transcare 4 Thunderbird 33 makes his move, and the Dillon Chassis machine finds itself running in the 3rd place position. Ron Delano Jr., the winner of the Snap-on Tools 100 in the Fall Festival last year. Jennerstown Speedway trying to make a move on Vasco, but having a share of problems. It's all about Kossel by himself out there. Just out of curiosity, we got Bradley Cole at an 18.13 out there. I'll put the clock on Kossel, our lead automobile in this heat, and see if he's as fast or faster than Cole. The battle for a second sees Bergman trying to close in on Arsenberger's automobile. Meanwhile, the Kossel's Racing Center, Oldsmobile body number 50, Bob Kossel, has everything going his way down the back straight into turn 3. 18.06 for Kossel. He's faster than Cole. Bob Kossel setting some outstanding paces out there as we work on lap 4, 6 laps remaining. Jamie Bergman doing a fine job in 3rd place position in the former Ed Fish Dillon Chassis machine. This car is a 1986 Dillon Chassis car. Has a lot of years under the belt of that chassis, and it continues to perform well out there in turns 1 and 2. Ron Delano Jr., who suffered such a severe crash here last year into the turn 1 wall, had his car rebuilt in the 91 season to come out at the end of the season and capture that prestigious Snap-on Tools 100. Jennerstown is having his share of problems this evening as he continues battling 4th place position with Greg Vasco, and he cannot make the move on Vasco's automobile. Greg Vasco, CJ Rayburn dirt chassis car, which has been redesigned and converted over to an asphalt chassis. One of the few dirt chassis machines still running on the pavement. As I mentioned, it has enough conversion to pretty much call it an asphalt machine at this point in time. It's all Bob Kossel with 2 laps remaining down the front straight. A distant second belongs to Bob Arsenberg. Likewise, third place is all Jamie Bergman, the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania pilot. Best battle on the track is for 4th place position. Delano dives to the low side of Vasco. Vasco closes the door on him. This time around, the white flag out for Bob Kossel. Out of turn 4, unfolding the checker is starter Ron Brunt. Bob Kossel will pick it up. A distant second to Bob Arsenberger. Third will go to Jamie Bergman. Here comes this battle for 4th. Out of turn 4, Ron Delano Jr. tries the low side and cannot make the move. Inside second row, another graduate from the Pure Stock Division in Estonia. Over. The green comes out. We are up to speed and racing in Estonia's light street stock. Into turns 1 and 2, it's a drag race and a battle for the point position, and Jason Mignon takes over that spot down the back straight from Brian Audi. Here comes Mike Heminger running 5th. Now he's side by side in the struggle for the 4th place position. He wrestles it away out of turn 4, continues moving up through the field. Jay O'Hay Jr. relegated back to 5th, and Heminger is on the move. Mike Heminger, the young pilot from Boswell, Pennsylvania, looking for racing room on the back bumper of the 57 at Jeanette, Pennsylvania's Marty Edwards. They struggle for 3rd place position. Edwards dives down low, covers his ground. Now Heminger tries to make the move again as it opens up down the front straightaway, and they're side by side, wheel to wheel in turns 1 and 2. Heminger down low, up high is Edwards. It continues to be a drag race down the long back straightaway, and Mike Heminger finds himself down running in the 3rd place position, sets his sights on the 2 lead automobiles of Mignon and Audi in the 66 and 75 respectively. Down the back straightaway, Brian Audi looking for racing room in the Rose Lumber 75 on the back bumper of the Mr. Stubbs 66 of Jason Mignon. Mignon slides up high. Audi tries to find an opening down low. Cannot make the move. They go into turns 1 and 2. Here comes the 72 of Mike Heminger. He begins to reel in the top 2 machines. Down the back straightaway, Hemminger's thrown out the fishing wire, hooked the back bumper of Audi's automobile, and he begins to close in on these 2 lead cars. It continues to be Mignon, not undaunted in this event, in the Mr. Stubbs 66. The Westmoreland Distribution Budweiser 66 machine continues holding on the lead. Mignon literally dirt tracking that automobile. The young college student continues holding on to the point position. Meanwhile, Brian Audi continues to write his autograph on the back bumper of Mignon's automobile in that struggle for the lead position. Mike Heminger desperately trying to close in and make it a 3-car battle for the lead. Barry Gary heads into the pits in the 82. Into turns 3 and 4. Time is running out for Audi if he's going to make a move. Mignon has been dirt tracking that Buick Regal all race long, and he's been able to hold on to it without lighting up the tires. A very precarious position to be in, and now Audi makes a serious bid for the lead. He dives under the low side. Mignon can see his automobile now. Audi commits to that low line. Mignon tries to hang it outside, but Audi breaks through the lead. Now Mignon goes slow. Oh, there's contact. He does a beautiful job of holding on to the automobile. Oh, and the yellow comes out. And we have a problem with Danny Barron's automobile. Barron down the back straight, continue dragging, must have a flat tire, don't see a wheel anywhere. Drive shaft on that automobile coming disconnected and dragging on the pavement, brings out the yellow. There's Mike's sister clapping. Here we go. Fuel tightens up out of turn 4. Green comes out. We're up to speed and racing. Down into turns 1 and 2, and instantly Mike Heminger goes to the outside of Audi's automobile, trying to make a move out of turn 2 down the back straightaway. That struggle for the 2nd place position. They work into turns 3, and those 2 cars conversely begin to close on Jason Mignon. Mignon out of Irwin, Pennsylvania, dirt tracking that Buick. continuing to hold on to the point position. Only 2 laps remaining. They work into turns 1 and 2. Audi looking for racing room, and it seems like he's more busy trying to hold off Heminger. Down he finds light under the hood of the Rose Lumber 75, begins to close right up to the back bumper of Mignon's Mr. Stubbs 66 out of turn 4. This time around, race fans, the white flag, 1 lap remaining. We work into turns 1 and 2. Audi sets up to the high side. Now will he try to dive low coming out of turn 2? Oh, they're checking the car goes Mignon. He lights up the tires a little bit. It gives an opportunity for Audi. Audi commits to the outside. We're coming down for the checker race fans. Who's it going to be? Here we come for the drag race for the lead, and it'll be Jason Mignon. And Barry Audi hangs on to second just by a few inches over the 72 Heminger. Easy, Brian, I should say, not Barry, Brian Audi. Almost losing it in the track dry material up high. And for him. Here we go, picking up speed out of turn 4. The green comes out. We are up to speed and racing. 10 laps of distance, and look at Alan Angelico. Boy, does he have his hands full. He holds on to that point position. Komarinsky on the outside of him. Here comes Burkett to the low line. The 95 of Kim McDonough up there. Oh, we're very close together. Hang on to it. In turns 3 and 4, fender to fender, some paint trading out there, and things start to break loose. The 55 of Angelico goes to the point position. Out of the groove into the loose marbles. He falls back 1, 2, 3, 4. He may have problems on the National Hydraulics 73 machine. What a bad break for Berkey as Komarinsky finds himself running second. Ken McDonough in a Mid-City Hotel 95 for the bridesmaid spot, and the Uniontown, Pennsylvania driver picks it up and sets his sights on the Tasco Titan 55 of Alan Angelico Jr. The wild man holding onto the point position, works the middle group, down to the low side goes the 95 McDonough, trying to make the move. They work into turns 1 and 2. McDonough down under that yellow line, still struggling to get to the low side in. He pulls off the point position. Moving up through the field, don't look now for the top 3 competitors, but here comes the 74 Rick Jock into the pits, and the Richard Petty lookalike machine, Mike Adams Jr., heads in. Mechanical woes on that automobile shortens his efforts in his qualifying event. Rick Jock will set his sights on the Rolling Rock beer machine of John Komarinsky. They work down the back straight, hit into turns 3 and 4. Jock goes high, Komarinsky right there sees the move and holds him off. Cross flags by starter Ron Brutt, signals 5 laps down, 5 remaining. We continue this struggle for the 3rd place position. Rick Jock looking for racing room. They work down the back straight. Here comes Jock up high again in the Vaughan United Beverage. Busch Beer 74. Komarinsky won't give it to him. A battle of the beers. The Rolling Rock 33 of Komarinsky and the Busch Beer 74 of Rick Jock. Into turns 1 and 2. Jock looking for racing room on the 33 of Komarinsky. Cannot do it, and Mark Berkey has regrouped his efforts and is on the charge. Berkey up to 5th place position, sets his sights to the back bumper of the B&T Trucking 74 Rick Jock. They work out of turn 4. 3 cars struggling for the 3rd place position. All the while they're closing up on your 2nd place machine of Alan Angelico Jr. Out of turn 2, John Komarinsky dirt tracks that beautiful Monte Carlo machine. Holding on to the 3rd place position. Jock now commits to the high side, opens up a low line, but Berkey not close enough to take advantage of it. 2 laps to go for your lead automobile, Ken McDonough. He certainly has command of this event, but the struggle for 3rd is still in question. Rick Jock still looking to the outside of Komarinsky's automobile. He really begins to make the commitment in turn 3 this time, but will have to back off one more time. The white flag out, 1 remaining. Continues to be McDonough, followed by a distant 2nd place position of Alan Angelico Jr. Now here's this battle for 3rd. 1 lap remaining. Jock tries to trade grooves and goes to the low side. Cannot make it work for him on Komarinsky's automobile. Coming around to pick up the checker will be Ken McDonough. 2nd will go to Alan Angelico Jr. Here's this battle for 3rd. Komarinsky in the middle groove. Jock cannot make the move, and John Komarinsky holds off Rick Jock for 3rd. Jock finishes 4th, and 5th goes to Mark Berkey. Paul Bennick into 41, finishing 6th in the event. Continuing with the lineup, new paint scheme for Robin Rimmel in the 20 Titans up. Listen to the tires screech on these. They run on treaded street legal tires, not the racing slick. Green's out, we're racing, and Dave Dragovich has the lead Diamond Dave Dragovich holding on to the lead. The Racing Mom, Judy Shawless, way up high into the loose marbles. Falls back some number of positions. Hang on to it, Judy. Here comes Courtney Block up through the field at 23. He wrestles to the low side of Griffith as they battle for second place position. Diamond Dave Dragovich on the point position continues to hold on to the lead. Into turns 1 and 2. Dragovich continues on the point position. Courtney Block looks to the low side. Mark Griffith to the high side. Race fans, there are 3 rookies back. Oh, easy does it out there. Almost near disaster between Block and Dragovich. Dragovich not to be intimidated. And the Bakes printing off machine. Oh, he gets up high. Starts falling off the pace. Now he brings it back down low. A fine job of keeping control of that automobile as Griffith looks to the outside of him. They go into turns 1 and 2. Mark Griffith goes to the high side. Dragovich in the middle of the racing surface. Courtney Block right where he was before on the low side. Oh, we're going to have some fender bending if we keep this up. Larry Lee Heminger coming up through the field in the 76. The North Star Equipment Machine. Here we come out of turn 4. My goodness. Pick a dart and throw it in a board for the battle for the lead here. 5 automobiles. We're 3 wide in a struggle for third place. Now it shuffles. Race fans, there's too many moves to call. Watch it yourself. On the back straightaway, Griffiths trying to struggle away for the point position on Dragovich. They both get up high, screech the tires into the loose marbles. Here comes Heminger. Larry Lee Heminger up on the outside. Griffith now looks like he'll wrestle through for the lead. Dragovich dives to the low side. They fight it out. Oh, Griffith's way up high into the marbles, but he does a masterful job of hanging on to the 71. He's going to hit the wall. No, he misses by inches. Dragovich comes right back up. Here comes Block. We cannot do it, race fans. Oh, they're going to do it 3 wide. Oh, they've proven me wrong. Unbelievable. Out of 4. We still have problems. Look out. Oh, no. Woohoo. All right. How about that one, race fans? Cleared through the traffic. Minimal damage to everybody's automobile. The only one making significant. Guys, let's see what happens here. Larry Lee Heminger on second place position. He will wrestle up to the low side. Griffith on the point. The green's out. We're racing. Into turns 1 and 2, and Larry Lee takes the North Star Equipment 76 into the point position, but does he? Here comes Griffith on the outside of him again. Courtney Block out of Wheeling, West Virginia, looking for racing room in the third place position. Griffith has problems with the car, falls off the pace a bit. Heminger gets through, and here comes Block. Block looks to the low side of Griffith's automobile in the battle for the bridesmaid position. Down the front straightaway. Courtney Block looking for racing room on the low side of this speedway. Dives to the low side and will set his sights on Larry Lee Heminger. On the back straight now, Mark Griffith comes right back on him on the outside. They work into turn 3. Griffith not to be denied, and the black 71 continues his struggle on the outside of this racing surface as they battle for second place. 5 laps now, 6 laps in the book, 2 laps remaining. 8 laps in this qualifying event for the Pure Stocks. Block still dirt tracking that automobile to the low side of Griffith, and Griffith, not to be intimidated, has the RPMs up down the straightaway. Right through for a second. Out of turn 4, squealing those treaded tires. A white flag, 1 lap remaining. Into turns 1 and 2, it continues to be Heminger by some 5 car lengths. Way up high goes Griffith. They're tracking the automobile, hanging on to it, but he's fallen back to third place position. Time is running out down the back straightaway. Block has secured the second place spot. Will try to close in on Heminger. He's beginning to do it, but time is running out. Here comes a checkered. It'll go to Larry Lee Heminger in a battle for second. Block holds onto it by half a car length over Griffith. Fourth place position will go to the 22 Robin Rimmel, and rounding out the top 5 is the 75 of James Friedline. The Racing Mom, Judy Shawless, product, Sean, the Bullet Beam. Along with Chris Kokenar outside of him, will bring this field around for 8 laps. Here we go. Green comes out. We're up to speed and racing. Oh, Butch Durkis jumps into the pits, and Stump having problems coming up to speed. We're 3 wide to battle for the lead. Into turns 1 and 2. Kokenar takes over the point position from Jimmy Bickerstaff Jr. Harry Flowers down the low side. Here comes the flying sign painter. Dave Burnell, high, wide, and handsome. Oh, 3 wide on Bickerstaff. He's getting dizzy out there. Here comes Sean Beam. The Bullet tries to work the outside on Bickerstaff. Cannot make the move. Harry Flowers continues wrestling the low side of the 24. Out in turn 1 and 2. We have problems. Look at that! Beam pulls it off. Oh, no! Wow. Sean, the Bullet Beam, saw an opening between two automobiles and he went for it. And we're still green, race fans. How about that one? We haven't slowed the pace. Unbelievable. We continue green flag racing as Bickerstaff, getting the worst of it, continues on. Beam continues stretching it out over Harry Flowers by some 12 car lengths. Kokenar remains in third place position. The one of Dave Brunel, the flying sign painter, got the worst of it out there with Bickerstaff. Brunel will have to try to regroup his efforts and close in and on the 18 of Kokenar. The High-Tech Hobby, Steve's Auto Service, number 1, will continue reeling in the 18 of Kokenar in the battle for the third place position. Jimmy Bickerstaff looks like he's well off the pace, maybe heading the infield. Yes, he does with the Dickey Electric 24. Unfortunate situation for the Mineral Ridge, Ohio pilot. As we continue this struggle for third place, it's developing into a good one. Now, the flying sign painter, Brunel, makes a strong effort on the outside on Kokenar, but Kokenar comes right back up on him. Down the back straightaway. It's a struggle for third. And Greensburg, Pennsylvania's Dave Brunel moves into the third place spot. Here comes George Nicola. He now comes up to the back bumper, the 18 of Kokenar. This time it's for the fourth place position out of turn 4. 1 and 2, a distant second place running Harry Flowers all by himself. All the actions unfolding behind him. Kokenar now goes up high, and Nicola gets through for the fourth place position in the 32. This time around, 2 laps remaining for your lead automobile, Sean the Bullet Beam. Beam in control of this event, working into turns 1 and 2. Harry Flowers continues a distant second. Third belongs to Dave Brunel, and he's fast closing into the back bumper of the Dale Earnhardt lookalike, number 3 of Flowers. They work down the back straight. Perhaps Brunel may have the time to do it. A white flag out. 1 lap remaining for your lead automobile, Beam. Here comes this fast developing battle for second place position. Flowers continues to hold on to it. Dave Brunel begins to close in on him. It looks like Flowers is pouring something out of the right rear area of that automobile, and he's slowed down the pace. Here comes Brunel down the back straight. It'll be Sean Beam's win down the front straight with that amazing move earlier in this event. The battle for second shaping up to be a good one. Brunel's running out of time. Can he make the move the outside? He can't do it. Harry Flowers hangs on to it. And the Flowers auto wrecking number 3. Brunel finishes in third. Fourth goes in 32. George Nicola. And fifth goes to Kokenar in the 18. Well, everyone, that concludes our qualifying events. We'll take JVC Car Audio 96 McKeesport, Pennsylvania's Marion Reno, a rookie in this division. Inside third row is Barry Audi. Outside of him from Champion, Pennsylvania, it's Danny White. Here we go. The field tightens up. The lights are out. We're getting ready for 35 very quick laps. Still be at speeds of close to 105, 110 on the straightaways. The Bendix Olds Cutlass pace car hits for the pits. It's up to Kessler and Gilder on the point. Starter run, looks him over. The green comes out. We're up to speed and racing. Down into turns 1 and 2. Chuck Kessler takes off with the point position down the back straightaway. Gary Gelner running a strong second. Rick Boyer holds on to third. Here comes Bobby Henry. He moves up to the 5th place position. Reno on the outside falling through this field. Cragen and the 24. Chuck Kennedy battling tooth and nail down the front straightaway. Into turns 1 and 2. All kinds of action in the middle of the pack as Kennedy has pulled a move on Cragen and has gotten ahead of him in the middle of the pack. Meanwhile, up in the lead position, it continues to be the 91 of Chuck Kessler. His car starts fading up high. Here comes Gelner to the low side. Third place is Rick Boyer. Into turns 1 and 2. Gary Gelner fires under the 91 of Kessler, and Gelner, the Wheeling West Virginia pilot, takes over the lead on lap 2. Through turns 3 and 4, a torrid battle for the second place position. Up high goes Kessler, and the 30 of Rick Boyer is now trying to work the low side of him. Pouring on the coals is the coal miner from Blairsville, Pennsylvania, Rick Boyer, as the Mott's Fruit Juice KFC 30 continues to work the low side of Kessler's automobile. Meanwhile, charging Charlie Cragen is on the move. He's gotten by Chuck Kennedy, and he's also got by the 23 of Danny White. Charlie Cragen is hooked up on the outside of this racetrack. He gets a little squirrely, has to settle off the pace. We have 5 automobiles battling for the second place position. You can throw a blanket on it. It is Kessler, followed by the 30. of Rick Boyer, the 75 of Bariotti, 77 of Bobby Henry, and Cragen in the 42. Gellner continues to hold the lead by 4 car lengths in this event. Now Rick Boyer looks to the low side of Kessler in a battle for second down the back straightaway. We're side by side, wheel to wheel on lap 5. Boyer tries to wrestle the low line, cannot make the move. Here comes Cragen. He goes to the outside, the 77 of Bobby Henry, and charging Charlie Cragen moves up another position. Momentarily fighting all over. Look at this. Race fans down the back straightaway, and Boyer wrestles away the second place position. Rick Boyer into second now to the low side. Bariotti makes it through. Cragen up high is boxed in, and here comes the 77 of Henry. Henry dives to the low side. Chuck Kessler right there, and now he fades up high. Bobby Henry gets through for fourth place position. Here comes charging Charlie Cragen. It continues to be Gary Gellner as we work on lap 7. He has 5 car length lead over the 30 of Rick Boyer, followed by the 75 of Bariotti, 77 of Bobby Henry, and in the charging one, Cragen in the 42. Those are your top 5 automobiles. Keep your eyes on them as we continue this battle down the back straightaway. Rick Miller, Glenn Gould, amazing. Those cars can even run. Oh, look out, we have a spin in 4. A spin in 4. And a beautiful job. Race fans, an absolutely picks up if those Goodyear slicks have flat spots on them. Crew feels pretty comfortable about it. I think they're waving him back out. He certainly is coming back out into the racing surface. Got some tough customers in front of him though. Here we go. It's up to Gellner to control this orchestra of horsepower through turns 3 and 4. He keeps the pace slow. Now he picks it up. We're back to green and racing. Here comes Glenn Gould to the outside of Rick Miller. Down into turns 1 and 2. Gellner takes off with the lead, stretching it up by 2 car lengths over Rick Boyer. Boyer conversely holds off the 75 of Bariotti. Cragen moves up to the back of Bariotti. Here comes a 36 of Tom Erickson. Erickson's on the move. And the Cobra machine, the 36, and oh, he gets up high, and Chuck Kennedy works the low side of him. What a battle we have going for the 6th place position side by side. It's Erickson and the 24 of Kennedy. They get together momentarily. Kennedy falls down low. Here comes Glenn Gould. Gould making his presence known, moving up through the field. Down the front straightaway on the high side of the race surface. Glenn Gould trying to make a move on Kennedy's automobile. They struggle for the 7th place position. Meanwhile, 4 cars throw a blanket over them in a battle for the lead. Cragen looking for low side racing room on Bariotta's automobile. Rick Boyer up in front of them running in 2nd place position. Down the back straightaway, the battle for the lead, and it continues to be Gary Gellner with it, and my goodness, are we tooth and nail between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place positions. Out of turn 4. Meanwhile, Gould moving up through the field on the back bumper, the 36 of Tom Erickson, as they struggle for the 5th place position. Working on lap 12 down the back straight. Cragen tries a low side move, cannot make it. It continues to be Gellner, followed by Boyer, the 75 of Bariotti, and Cragen in 4th place position. Something's got to give here as tight as they're running. Now Cragen tries the low side, works to the low line of Bariotti in a battle for 3rd place position. Charging Charlie Cragen in the Twin County Chevrolet dealers. 42 finds himself running in a 3rd spot. Trying to break loose. This Stoystown Auto Workers 75 at Jenners, Pennsylvania's Bariotti desperately hanging on to the outside of the racing service. But Cragen breaks through for the 3rd place position. Charging Charlie Cragen into 3rd. Here comes Glenn Gould up through the field. Gould to the back bumper of the 36 of Tom Erickson. And they struggle for 5th spot in this event. Continues to be Gary Gellner, an outstanding drive, holding on to the point position. Rick Boyer in 2nd place position with Cragen. Now Gellner's car begins to fade. Gellner pushing through the turns. Slows down a bit, and the other automobile is beginning to close on him. Here comes Cragen. Cragen works to the outside of the 30 of Rick Boyer in a battle for 2nd. Down the straightaway. That car's jumping all over the place, but Cragen is able to break loose. Charging Charlie Cragen takes over 2nd. Sets his sights on Gary Gellner down the back straightaway. Here we go for the battle for the lead. Gary Gellner continues to hold on to it. Charging Charlie Cragen works to the outside, trying to make it 3 in a row. Gellner down to the low line. Cragen dives into turns 1 and 2. Gary Gellner hangs it out on the low line. Charging Charlie Cragen lifts the rims down the back straightaway, and Cragen tries to take over the lead. Gellner continues on the low side. Cragen breaks through and takes over the point position on lap 17. Cragen now stretches it out over Gellner. What a great battle we have going on 2nd through 5th place position. Tom Erickson with an impressive run into 36 has moved up to 4th place. Cragen gets around the left automobile Smith. He brings the rest of the field with him down the front straightaway. Into turns 1 and 2. Glenn Gould has made his presence known in this event. He now continues to run in a very impressive 6th place position from the back of the field. He's trying to move up on the 36 Erickson. Meanwhile, Erickson looks to the low side of Mariotti. They get together out of 4, and we continue green flag racing. Into turns 1 and 2. Tom Erickson desperately trying to work the low side on the Stoystown Auto Record 75 of Mariotti. A puff of smoke from those 2 automobiles. Tires touching, but we continue green flag racing as both of those competitors show their expertise on the pavement. Working on lap 21, Cragen was smooth sailing as they work into turns 1 and 2. Gary Gellner, meanwhile, looks like he may have the Hanley start to go away on the 22. Has his hands full with Rick Boyer. Boyer into Mott's Fruit Juice. KFC number 30 still hunting the back bumper. Gellner's automobile. Mariotti desperately trying to hang on to 4th, but he has Erickson pressuring him to the low side. Audi to Stoystown Auto Records. Wiedendorf Electric 75 continues 4th place. Meanwhile, Erickson begins to groom that low side. He dives down the low side of Audi. They work through turns 3 and 4. It's a struggle for the 4th place position. Erickson way down on the low line in that Howe chassis automobile. They work into turns 1 and 2. Erickson begins to muscle his way to the low side of Mariotti's automobile. Down the back straightaway is still side by side in a battle for 4th place position. Tom Erickson trying to make that move on Audi. Audi not dying very easily out there. Continues to hold on to that outside groove. They drag race down the front straightaway. Erickson with the line in turn 1, and he breaks through for the 4th place position. Tom Erickson with an outstanding drive muscles his way into 4th place. Sets his sights on Boyer in the 30. Plenty of time in this event. Here comes Erickson. He moves to the low side of Rick Boyer's automobile. They struggle side by side, wheel to wheel, fender to fender. Oh, look at this in turns 1 and 2. We're trading sheet metal. Erickson right there tries to make the move. Boyer comes back up on him, but Erickson closes the door and moves in to the 3rd place position. It's all Cragen, but an intense battle continues for the 2nd place position. Tom Erickson has now moved up to the back bumper at Gary Gellner's 22. They work into turns 1 and 2. Gellner pushes a low. Look out! Erickson and Gellner get together. Causes repercussions. We continue green flag racing. Here comes Rick Miller out of nowhere, race fans. And Miller up through the field. Works to the high side of Gault's automobile. Erickson dives down low on Gellner's automobile. In a battle for the 2nd place position. They work into turns 1 and 2. Gellner way up high. Here comes Erickson. He dives down to the low side. It's a drag race in a battle for a 2nd. Down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. And Tom Erickson pulls off the 2nd place spot. It opens up a floodgate. Here comes Rick Boyer. He makes it through for 3rd place position. A great battle continues in this pack between 3rd and 7th place position. Rick Boyer holding on to 3rd. Erickson finds himself running 2nd, trying to close in on your lead automobile, Cragen. Meanwhile, Mariotti has his hands full. He's trying to go to the outside of Gary Gellner, but Glenn Gault's right there, and Rick Miller's moved up in his field. Now Gault dives down to the low side of Mariotti's automobile. This is the battle for the 4th place position between Gellner in a 22, Audi in a 75, and Gault in a 32. They work on a turn 4. Down low goes Gellner. That car begins to get squirrely. Only 5 laps remaining in this event. Gellner desperately trying to hang on to the low side, but Audi breaks through for the 4th place position. Here comes Glenn Gault. He now begins to struggle to the outside of the 22 in a battle for 5th place position. And Rick Miller trying to do the same. Gault breaks through and makes his way into a top 5 position. Rick Miller now working the outside. Gary Gellner begins to come back up on Glenn Gault. They continue side by side, wheel to wheel, down into turns 3 and 4, but Gault breaks in to the 5th place position. Into turns 1 and 2. Gary Gellner's had his hands full. Glenn Gault now moving into 5th. The next competitor to set sails on Gellner's 22 is the 19 of Jim Dolan Chevrolet Camaro of Rick Miller. 2 laps to go for your lead automobile. Charging Charlie Cragen. Here is the battle down for the 6th place position. Rick Miller looks to the outside of Gellner's automobile for 6th. They work through turn 2 down the back straightaway. Here comes Rick Miller. They drag race down the long back straightaway. Miller breaks through for the 6th place position. The white flag comes out for Cragen. 1 more lap to go. Cragen trying to make it 3 for 3 here at Motordrome in the 92 season. Down the long back straightaway. A straightaway length advantage over Tom Erickson. through turns 3 and 4 this time around, and the checkered flag will come out for Charging Charlie Cragen. A distant second will go to the 36 Erickson. Outstanding run for him. Moyer holds on to third. Fourth will go to Mariotti, and rounding out the top 5 is Glenn Gold. 6 goes to Rick Miller. Cragen. Cooney Coal Company, Precious Metals, Valley Beverage, Lombard, Shop and Save, Frank's Used Cars, Sickens Anzo Finish, Willie Cameron, and of course Scanlon Clinic, Casa Fire Equipment, and Twin County Chevrolet dealers, all behind the efforts for the Charging One in the 1992 season. We'll be turning it down to Joe Rolick, who will be taking over in the on-track presentations. Do want to mention that Eaton Park presenting the trophy this evening to the Charging One. And this Gatlings Lake Model 35 lap feature event. Beth Patron down there doing the honors with Charlie from Eaton Park.
Charlie Cragen, 3 in a row, buddy. The car did anything you wanted it to out there.
I know. I can't say enough about this crew. Give me a car that just does anything I want to do there. That's great.
You ran high in the beginning, low. Was it just because the cars were high that you had to go down low, or were the tires heating up? It just looked perfect.
I could go anywhere I wanted to go. The car was handling perfect, and I like to thank all our sponsors and the crew. They really put this thing together.
Who are some of the crew guys? These guys really deserve a lot of credit. When you get on a streak like this, it's crew and driver really coming together with the car.
Fred and Dan Biter, Rick Zimmerman, Benny Four, all the boys, Alan and Jason and Brian, and Doc and Roger. Tut.
Get them all? No, I won't want to forget anybody either. They might get mad at you. They got you on a heck of a hot streak. Charlie, you know, if you don't quit winning here pretty soon, we're going to have to start calling this Gatlings Lake Model Charlie Cragen donation.
Well, that's all right. It's been a long time since we've been on a streak like this, so I don't know.
Congratulations, Charlie Cragen. Good race.
Twin County Chevrolet dealers from last year. They purchased over the winter. And Gilbert, Give Pat out of Shady. Vasco right there. Here we go. Holy smokes. The Olds will be off. Corbin up high. Do we get a green? I don't know. Easy does it. Well, if you're not familiar with race procedures, particularly on an Olds pace car. Into the infield, the green comes out, we're up to speed. The Pepsi Pro Stock for 25 laps. We're green in racing. Down into turns 1 and 2, and it's Rapid Robert Arsenberger taking off with a point position. A very close battle, and for second, and oh, look at this down the middle of the bank straightaway. All kinds of shuffling going on. Ron Delano Jr. getting the worst of it as he falls back through the field. The Nepper Performance 62 just not handling for him this evening. Side by side, wheel to wheel, a struggle for top 10 positions, and Jamie Bergman in the 33 takes off with third. Keep your eyes on him. Look at this, Jeff Dunbar having a hard time getting up through this field. He's been boxed in by the 11 of Vasco. Getting through is the 77 of Kelly Shawless as they work down into turns 1 and 2. Well off the pace is Albright in the 60. It's a great battle for the lead down the back straight. Between the 26 of Rapid Robert Arsenberger and Bradley Cole in the 68. Bergman, an impressive run for this rookie in third place position. Oh, go way up high. It's Arsenberger with the lead as they get around the lapped automobile. The number 5 car of Larry Bahana. Bahana finding out what it's like to be out there in the pavement. His first time ever behind the wheel of that automobile on the pavement. Goes a lap down as we continue to struggle for the lead. Turns 1 and 2. Cole dives to the low side. Arsenberger's machine cannot make the move down the back straight. They continue to hug. Look at this on the back straight. And a struggle for third. We're coming up on lap traffic. What's going to happen in 3 and 4? Oh, what a... Oh, look at that. My, oh my. Both Bob Kossel and Jeff Dunbar barely able to squeeze through the left automobile of Albright and the 33 of Bergman to take over the third and fourth place positions respectively. Working on lap 5, it continues to be Arsenberger holding on to the point position. Bradley Cole is haunting his back bumper. as they work into turns 1 and 2. Cole looking for racing room, dives to the low side on Arsenberger. They work down the back straight. Bradley Cole right there. He gets a fender under Arsenberger's machine. They dive into turns 3 and 4. There's a lapped automobile Albright right there, but Cole makes it through. Down the front straightaway, the black flag was given to Albright in the 60. Literally a roadblock out there this evening, and he'll pull that car into the pits. Now Cole comes into lap traffic. Look at this, we're going to have to go 3 wide. Ted Carbo with nowhere to... Oh, my goodness, that's billiard balls through turns 3 and 4. Can you... Oh, we've got a spin. We have a spin in 3 and 4. Man alive, have you ever seen such shuffling for position? Works out to be in 3 and 4. Cole begins to wind up the pit-stop machine. Here we go. Green comes out. We're up to speed racing. Kelly Shawless shot out of a cannon. Makes the move. We're trying to go 3 wide in turns 1 and 2. And the field breaks up. Shawless loses the handle. Brings it back online in the Shawless Screen Print 77 machine. We continue in this struggle. Look at Jeff Dunbar come up through this field. He goes to the outside of the 50 of Bob Kossel. Kossel breaks to the low side on him and holds the position. Into turns 1 and 2, it continues to be Bradley Cole stretching it out now. Dunbar trying to work the low side of Bob Kossel's automobile. Dunbar with a tough situation. He's trying to work a groove there to get around Kossel and Arsenberger, but he has to be careful he doesn't use up his tires in an effort to chase down Cole. Into turns 1 and 2. Oh, dirt track in the automobile, and Dunbar has a problem holding on to the position and will fall back to 4th spot. Bradley Cole, hooked up on this racing service, has everything going his way so far on lap 10 of this event. We currently work at the halfway point. Bob Arsenberger has his hands full. Here comes Brock Kossel to the low side. The Connellsville, Pennsylvania driver in the Port City Chassis Oldsmobile body machine dives to that low. He opens up a window. Here comes Dunbar trying to take advantage of the same. Out of turn 4. Oh, we have a bad crash in turn 3. My attention turned to this battle for 3rd, and Ron Delano hits the wall very hard with the 62. Look at the back end of that car, reminiscent of when Stan Lasky Jr. hit that wall. And that brings out an immediate yellow, and that car, the back clip of that car is completely destroyed. I never noticed the impact because my attention was turned in this vein. Said for that Port City chassis machine. Wheel body machine. As we get ready for the restart, lights out, it's up to Cole, he jumps on the throttle, the green is unfolded, we're up to speed and racing. Into turns 1 and 2, the battle shapes up for 2nd place position. Here comes Dunbar, he works to the low, oh, Give Pat on the move, gets to the low side of Jamie Bergman. Kelly Shawless trying to do the same in 3 and 4. Oh, down the front straightaway, and Give Pat unbelievably hangs onto the car after he, Shawless, and Bergman trade some sheet metal on here. Now we've got a battle for the 2nd place position into turns 3 and 4. Bob Sprout Kossel goes to the low side of Arsenberger, breaks through for 2nd, and here comes Dunbar. Dunbar makes it in for the 3rd place position on lap 12. 8 laps remaining. Is it a catch-up game? Can they close in on the leader, Bradley Cole? Immediately, Dunbar goes to work on Kossel's automobile. Got another spin in 3 and 4. Bergman spins once again. Now, 2 weeks ago, the last... Oh, the green comes on. We're up to speed racing. Jeff Dunbar picks off where he left... picks up where he left off. As he continues the battle for the 2nd spot. Out of turn 4. He goes to the low side of Kossel automobile. Cannot make the move. They dive into turns 1 and 2. Dunbar still looking for a racing room. Cannot make the move. Bob Arsenberger begins to fall back through the pack. Here comes Kelly Shawless. Shawless begins to pressure Arsenberger's automobile. It continues to be Bradley Cole, followed by Bob Sprout Kossel and the 07 of Jeff Dunbar. Into turns 1 and 2. Dunbar looking for racing room. And no, Shawless. Oh, look out! Oh, no! A tremendous crash in turn 2. Fire erupts on an oil line on Bergman's automobile, and it flips over on its top. An immediate red flag in turn 2. Safety officials quickly going to the aid of Jamie Bergman, who went on top of the 70 of Gib Pat, hit the wall and rode it at a 90-degree angle. It flipped over upside down and continues to remain on fire. The safety crew continues to fight that oil fire. I'm guessing that's what that is. And I do believe Jamie Bergman is out of the automobile. He is out under his own power, amazingly, and that's a great thing to see. He was able to get out of there. An extremely hard impact with Gib Pat's car, airborne into the wall, airborne, riding on its side, and then the oil fire erupts, and then the car turns over on its roof. And Jamie Bergman, after about 4 races under his belts, has met an extremely severe crash. Look at Gib Pat's car.
I don't know if you said, but he's out of the car. He does look a little shaken up. The problem right now is some of the gas is leaking. Come down on the racetrack.
Gib Pat's car with tremendous cosmetic
It's definitely going to be a while cleaning this up.
Running 1 and 2, the lapped automobiles of Dunbar, Vasco, and Bahana. Then we go to the 3rd place car, Bob Sprott-Kossel and Bob Arsenberger. Look at that. On the restart. Here we go. We're back to green and racing. Into turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, it continues to be Bradley Cole in the point position. He stretches it out by some 7 car lengths over Shawless's automobile. Meanwhile, Jeff Dunbar, trying to get his lap back, dives to the low side of Kelly Shawless in turns 1 and 2. On the back straightaway, Dunbar on the move. Oh, dirt tracks the car as the rear end breaks loose, has to back off the pace, loses a car length to Shawless in the 77. Bob Sprott-Kossel, the 3rd, running in 3rd place position. Will be closing up on Kelly Shawless as they work into turns 1 and 2. Kelly Shawless in a non-offset automobile, the former Tony Raines Dillon ASA perimeter chassis car, doing an outstanding job of holding on to 2nd place position. Dunbar, of course, will lap down, but he's trying to wrestle his way through. And here comes this battle for 2nd. Kossel to the low side of Shawless's automobile. This is the true battle for 2nd place position, and Bob Kossel breaks through for the spot. On the back straightaway, Kossel sets his sights for Bradley Cole, but he's flat running out of time. Cole in command of this event. This time around, we'll get the 5 lap to go signal from starter Ron Brutt. They work into turns 1 and 2. And Cole has everything working his way so far. As we continue this battle for the top position. Bradley Cole hangs on to Dunbar, maybe the fastest car on the track right now after ducking into the pits, but that lap penalty has put him at a disadvantage of ever hoping to try to pull this one off. 2 laps to go for Bradley Cole, and Bob Kossel just cannot seem to close in to the back bumper of Cole's automobile. White flag out for Bradley Cole, 1 lap remaining. Again, Dunbar is 1 lap down. The only thing he's doing out there is trying to get his lap back. He dives to the low side and Cole. But the move will not take place as we're coming around, running out of time. Here comes for the checkered flag, and the checker comes out. Bradley Cole wins, followed by the 50 of Bob Sprott-Kossel, the 77. Kelly Shawless. Bob Arsenberger comes in 4th. Jeff Dunbar will officially pick up 5th place position. Somerset Drug Resources Conservation Corporation, JW Industries, WVSC Radio, Pizza Hut, Precious Metals, Rhodes Mini Mart, Schmucks Excavating, El Pogi, and Stahl's Jewelry, all part of the efforts for Bradley Cole in the 92 season. In Victory Lane, Bradley will be presented the Eaton Park Trophy by our representative from Eaton Park this evening, Beth Patron. And he's being congratulated by Chip Rowan, General Manager of Motordrome, and starter Ron Brutt. Beth presents the Eaton Park Trophy, and Bradley is joined by Miss Motordrome 1992, Carrie Ritchie, in Victory Lane. We'll turn it down to Joe Rolick. Momentarily, he'll get Bradley's impressions of this crash-filled event.
What goes through your mind when you're sitting there for that long and there's a red flag on the track? You start to wonder, oh God, I'm in the lead. Bob Causell got a flat tire on the front stretch. I don't know if you're aware of that or not, but do those kind of things run through your mind?
Yeah, they really bother you when you're in the front. It seems like you're out there for weeks instead of 25 laps.
Would you like to mention some of your crew members? Your car really seems to be running extremely strong. 2 weeks in a row you got Jeff Dunmeyer. He seems to be your main competition. You guys friendly in the pits, it's friendly competition.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my crew, all my sponsors, RCC, Rexall Drug, Pizza Hut, and I couldn't name them all. I'd be here for a while. And an outstanding job that my crew did. My car was perfect.
You going to be moving up to late models anytime soon, or you're just going to try to stick with the pro stocks for this year?
I don't know. Time will tell.
Thank you. Bradley Cole.
Congratulations to Somerset, Pennsylvania's ready to head into the infield. We keep the pace very slow to that perpendicular yellow line on turn 4. Starter Ron Brutt looks them over. Green comes out, and we're up to speed racing, and we're 3 wide of battle for the lead already. Down the front straightaway, it's a horse race into turns 1 and 2. Komarinsky takes off with the lead in Rolling Rock 33, begins to stretch it out over Brian Audi. We have problems already in turn 2. Dietrich goes to the inside, does his imitation of a lawnmower, and we keep under the green flag conditions. In turns 3 and 4, Brian Audi has his hands full, all kinds of pressure behind him. And look at the, oh, we still have problems. Everybody, bumper, look out, Angelique Gill's gonna kiss the outside. Woo! What a beautiful job everybody does of missing that. How about that deserves a round of applause. I thought Angelique. Green's out, we're up to speed racing. Komarinsky with his hands full, a lot of heat behind him. Here comes Berkey. Mark Berkey out of nowhere to the outside of Brian Audi's automobile. And the sophomore pilot looking for a career first wing gets way up and loose into the marbles. Here comes Audi. He dives to the low side in the 33 of Komarinsky. They battle it out early in this event, and Audi determined to wake that low side work in the Rose Lumber 70. Oh no! Almost near disaster. What a beautiful job those guys did at keeping those cars together. Oh, I thought we had certain disaster, and it's almost going to happen again down the back straight. How close do they run in a Stoney's Light Street Stocks? In turns 3 and 4, up high goes Komarinsky, desperately hanging on to it. Into 1 and 2, and we're all stacked up for the lead battle. Komarinsky up high, running like a sprint car out there. High, wide, and handsome. Meanwhile, the 75 of Audi continues to groom the low side of the racing service. Jason Mignon watching the action unfold in front of him. Down the front straightaway, here comes Rick Jock. Jock makes his presence known in this event. We continue side by side, wheel to wheel, fender to fender, lug nut to lug nut, window net to window net. Audi now breaks through to the point position. Lap traffic ahead. Adams dives to the low side. Everybody squeezes through, and Brian Audi holds the lead on lap 4. Here comes Jason Mignon. He's the next to strike to the back bumper, the rolling walk, 33 of Komarinsky. Komarinsky closes the door. Mignon goes down low. He gets boxed in. Here comes the 74, Rick Jock high, trying to make the move by holding Mignon in. Rick Jock making that outside groove work for him. And the 33 of Komarinsky throws a block on both automobiles. He holds the middle groove. They're trying to make it 3 wide in the battle for the bridesmaid position. Look at this race fans at turn 3. 3 wide. Jock gets worse. Here comes McDonough out of nowhere. McDonough goes low. He gets under the 73 and the 74 of Berkey and Jock respectively. Ken McDonough is a man on the move. Sets his sights to 4. Now third place position down the back straightaway. The Mid-City Hotel 95 machine of Uniontown, Pennsylvania's Ken McDonough is a man possessed and on the move. Sets his sights for the 66 of Jason Mignon. Meanwhile, Rick Jock has gathered his efforts back on the foreign car service. B&T Trucking 74 sets his sights to the back bumper of McDonough's automobile as they run 3rd and 4th respectively. Here comes the 73 machine, the National Hydraulics ride of Berkey. The Johnstown, Pennsylvania driver gets under Komarinsky's 33 for the 5th place position. The best battle on the track continues for the 2nd place position. Jason Mignon holds on to it. McDonough is glued to his back bumper, and Rick Jock is looking for racing room. Jason Mignon gets the car crossed up. Hold on to it, Jason. He does, and he maintains 2nd place position. Likewise, Berkey gets the car crossed off, has to slow down the pace he holds in 5th place position. That allows Komarinsky to close back up on him, and Marty Edwards as well. Down the front straightaway, Jason Mignon with his hands full. McDonough would like some breathing room in an effort to close in on the 75 of Brian Audi. 11 laps down, 9 remaining in this Stoney's Light Street Stock feature event. Out of turn 4, Jason Mignon with that familiar dirt track fishtail technique through the turns. Got to wonder how much abuse those tires can take in that driving style. He's able to hold on to 2nd. Now McDonough really threatens. They're coming up on the lap traffic of Paul Bendick, and that'll force McDonough back in single file in turn 3. Rick Jock not able to take advantage of any maneuvers with these 2 automobiles in front of him. Oh, catching together bumper and quarter panel is Jock and McDonough as they literally throw pieces off the car in turn 1. And now Rick Jock, like a slingshot down below in the Vaughn's United Beverage Busch Beer 74, moves into the 3rd place position. Jock sets his sights up on the 66 of, oh my goodness, Jock down into the grass like a weed trimmer in turn 1. Continues to hold on to the 3rd place position. Brian Audi on the point all by himself. Jason Mignon with his hands full as Rick Jock's trying to strap it on him. Down into turns 1 and 2. Jock tries to close the door. I should say open the door up on the 66 of Mignon. Mignon closes it. Into turns 3 and 4, Jock now grooves the high side on the Mr. Stubbs 66 of Mignon, and Jock works around outside, catches Mignon right there on the front straight, and we have a yellow. We have a yellow for a spin in turns 3 and 4 by Jay O'Hay Jr. In the 97. 3, the green comes out. Here comes Mignon! Jason Mignon's right there, and Rick Jock as well. We're back to speed and racing. Jock goes to the high side of Jason Mignon. They struggle in turns 1 and 2. Now he chooses a low line. Mignon holds him off in that battle for 2nd. Audi tries to stretch it out by 2 car lengths. We go into turns 3 and 4. Jock tries the high side again. Ken McDonough begins to move up. Here comes Mark Berkey in a 73. Working down the front straight, Rick Jock is the man on the move. He has damage to the right front fender of that automobile. Continues to close up there, play bumper tag with Jason Mignon. He's on that high side. Opens up the low line for Ken McDonough, but McDonough's boxed in with nowhere to go. Mignon loses some control, slows down, but he's still able to hold off the automobiles behind him. Time is running out, only 3 laps remaining. Jason Mignon is putting on a show here, trying to hang on to second. The tires are going away. Here comes McDonough. He dives to the low side. Oh, Rick Jock to the outside. 3 wide of battle for second. McDonough gets the best of it. Sets his sights on Adi's machine. Only 2 laps remaining. Down into turns 1 and 2. Rick Jock, high, wide, and handsome, now dives down low again. Oh, he gets into the 78-95 of McDonough. They get together. McDonough keeps going. Time is running out. It's all Brian Audi up front. But what an incredible battle has been going on behind his automobile. This time around, the white flag, 1 lap remaining. McDonough would have to pull off a Herculean task to try to close down on the Rose number 75 at this point in the event. Rick Jock with the tires going away on that automobile. Not able to make an effort in the battle for the bridesmaid position. Here comes the 73 Mark Berkey. He dives to the low side of the 66 up and yon. They get together. The checker will go out for Audi. Second will go to McDonough. Third to Jock. The battle for third. Here it comes. My goodness. It goes to the 66 of Jason Mignon, and squeezing in fourth at the last moment is a 33 of John Komarinsky. Or fifth, I should say. My goodness, what a race. North Star Equipment, 28-year-old driver, having a nice round of applause. He can hear you now for Brian Audi from Jenners, Pennsylvania. 76 Monte Carlo, 350 cubic inch engine under the hood. Rose Lumber, Ron Beckner Logging, North Star Equipment, Bob's Mini Mart, Hunt Oil, Mobile One, Black Specialties, Mousie's Garage, and Holder Auto Body. All part of the efforts for this young driver from Jenners, Pennsylvania. He receives the Eaton Park Trophy from Beth Patrone in Victory Lane and is flanked to his right by Miss Motordrome Speedway, Carrie Ritchie. We'll turn it down to Joe.
First win in the new division.
Yeah, it feels pretty good.
Last week you had a little bit of problems. It seemed like you had a fast car. Did you know you had it to come back this week and really put it on them?
Yeah, it felt good last week. Electrical wire come off on me and shorted out. I was saying all week, I said, I'm going to work out to my advantage because I'll get to start up front a little further. I made it work, so.
Yeah, you ran away from the field. I don't know if you could see it behind you, boy. They were rolling on that hot and heavy. It's a good thing you were way out front. That's the best place to watch a race like that.
Well, you don't know what's going on behind you. You just keep going. I didn't need that caution there at the end. I had to put everybody back on my back bumper. Well, just see what I can do here.
Congratulations.
Brian Audi from Jenners, Pennsylvania, in a career for... You can see them all. 15 laps, and my goodness, it looks like a staggered Le Mans start out there. Let's see what starter Ron Brett does. Well, we're able to get everybody under control again. Nice slow pace. Judy brings them around out of 4. Here we go in the Racing Mom up through the gears with Chris Kokenar, and we're green and racing. Oh my, look at the flying sign painter, Dave Burnell making it 3 wide in the middle of the pack. We're side by side, wheel to wheel. Judy hangs it up, and go Mom, go. We've got her into the lead. All right, here comes Courtney Block in the 23. Look at this, we're still 3 wide in the middle of the pack. The Bullet Beam is right up through there with the flying sign painter and the 28 and 1s respectively. Judy Shawless continues on the point position. Way up high goes Chris Kokenar, and that leaves the bottom side open for the 23 of Courtney Block. And he moves into the second place position. Here comes Harry Flowers. My goodness, look at the traffic jam in the middle of the field. Both Sean Beam and Dave Burnell are coming right up through this field. Oh, hair-raising activity in the middle of the pack. Harry Flowers and Chris Kokenar in the 3 and 18 have their hands full. Here comes Beam. High, wide, and hill. Oh, Beam gets boxed in the outside. Burnell tries to take advantage of the low line. We're 3-way now. Burnell gets cut off. Kokenar throwing roadblocks out there like crazy, and Burnell gets the best of it. Sean Beam with nowhere to go. Butch Durkis is squeezed in under him, and now Beam is trying to split the gap between 2 automobiles. Meanwhile, Judy Shawless continues on the point position, trying to make Western Pennsylvania history on the pavement. To be the first female ever to visit Victory Lane, continues on the point position. Look at this battle for the third place position. It's 4 cars strong as they go into turns 1 and 2. Dave Brunell continues on that position, stretching it out now. Over the 3 of Harry Flowers and the 87 of Butch Durkis. The 28 of Sean Beam. His perfect win streak in jeopardy. He's 2 for 2, trying to make it 3 in a row. And he's got to get moving out of the middle of this pack to do it. 5 laps down. Laps remaining. Continues to be Judy Shawless on the point position. Courtney Block hangs on to second. Dave Brunell now all by himself in third. Here comes the Bullet Beam. Sean works to the outside of Durkis' automobile in a struggle for the 4th place position. Cannot quite make the move. Durkis continues on the low line once again. They continue struggling down the long back straightaway. Everybody's jammed up on Courtney Block's 23 in about a 4th second. The bridesmaid position sees 4 cars. You could throw a blanket over it. Judy Shawless continues, hanging on to the lead, but everybody else is jammed up behind the 23 of Courtney Block. Smoke pours out of the 17 automobile, Conrad Presnell. He slows out the pace, and it puts Brunell forced into a position. Here comes the Bullet Beam. He goes to the outside of Courtney Block, and Sean the Bullet Beam is setting his sights for the lead automobile of Judy Shawless. Shawless hanging on to it. The Racing Moms out there with the lead. Sean the Bullet Beam continues on the low side. Judy continues hanging it up on the outside of race service, and Beam makes it by the low side. Here comes Courtney Block trying to do the same. Judy Shawless hanging on to it in the 2nd place position. Sean Beam begins to stretch out his lead, working on lap 8 of this event. Judy Shawless loses control, brings it back online. Look out on the front straight. Oh, she lit up the right rear tire, had to slow down the pace, and Courtney Block almost got into the back end of the 77. Now the flying sign painter Dave Brunell comes alive. He goes to the outside of Courtney Block. He says to himself, I've got to get around this wheeling West Virginia driver and go after the Racing Mom. Running in second, Judy Shawless. Working on lap 10, 5 remaining, and Sean Beam is trying to run and hide away from the rest of this field. Meanwhile, Brunell breaks into the 3rd place position, sets his sights on Judy Shawless, an outstanding drive the female pilot has had this evening. Oh, look at Beam on the front straightaway with nowhere to go. Beam does a little door knocking on Chris Kokenar's car, almost lifts the back end up in the air. Down the back straightaway, continues on the point position, gets around the 18th. The battle's a good one for 3rd. Courtney Block tries the low side on Judy Shawless. They go into the lap traffic of Diamond Dave Dragovich. Look at this out of 4. Now Durkis tries to make it 3 wide, and they're closing up on the bakes, printing 78 of Dragovich. And look at this, some paint swapping. Oh my goodness, Durkis getting into the back bumper, the 23 of Courtney Block, and they move up to the 3rd and 4th place positions respectively. It's all Sean the Bullet Beam with 2 laps remaining. Look at this battle now for the 3rd place position. Flowers loses an engine into number 3 and limps into the pits with only 2 laps remaining. Working down the back straight, Beam continues to hold on to the point position. Here's a great battle for 3rd. Working into turn 3, Butch Durkis tries the outside of Courtney Block. The white flag's out for Beam. Here's his struggle for 3rd out of turn 4. Durkis tries the outside of Block, and here they come, drag racing down the front straightaway. Butch Durkis takes over the 3rd place position. Less than a half a lap remaining. It'll be Sean Beam coming around for his 3rd win at Motordrome. He takes the checker into pure stocks right under the flag stand. A distant 2nd will go to the flying sign painter Dave Brunell. The battle for 3rd. It'll see Butch Durkis take it over Courtney Block, and Judy Shawless, the Racing Mom, runs out the top 5. AW Industries, part of the effort. He can hear now. Another nice round of applause for Sean the Bullet Beam. 3 in a row at the Drome. He'll be congratulated in victory lane and presented the Eaton Park Trophy by Beth Patron. Flanking Sean to his right is Carrie Ritchie, Miss Motordrome, 1992. And we'll turn things over to Joe Rolick. Don't forget, tomorrow afternoon, Jennerstown Speedway, free open house practice. Gates open at noon. Practice from 1 to 5. Racing back here next Friday night. Gates open at 5:30, race at 8 p.m. 50-lap Gatling's late model feature among the 4-division action you'll see next Friday. So mark your calendars for Jennerstown and Motordrome Speedways on Friday and Saturday nights respectively. Folks, have a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow at Jennerstown and right back here next Friday. We turn things over to Joe Rolex down in Victory Lane. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Sean,
After the year we had last year at the beginning, I just can't believe it.
must be them Fords are still running strong Winston Cup too, huh?
Yeah, all these guys running Chevrolet, someday they'll get smart.
Sean, I understand you were going to buy a boat earlier today. Is that true?
I told them if it rained and they canceled tonight, I was selling it and buying a boat.
Glad you didn't sell it.
Yeah. I'd like to thank all my sponsors, Barron Trucking, Midas Muffler, Rocket Rick Coons Racing Engines, J&W Industrials, Sports R Us. I'd like to thank them all.
Sean, the bullet beam. I'd like to remind everybody we will be racing again next Friday. Gates open at what time?